as viewer. You're not so.
Yeah!
Oh,
Oh my God, I started sweating.
We did it.
we did it.
I was hoping you'd get like all the angles while I was.
We
Oh
did
man,
it.
thank you for bearing with us.
That's not the worst that this has gone for
No,
us.
it's not. So
Overall, this is,
yeah.
Amazing. How are you? Hi.
Good. How are you?
We're fine. How are you doing?
Okay.
During wild time. Are you in LA? Where are you these days?
I'm in LA. Are you in LA?
We are. The weather is, I'm so happy to be here in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
It's so,
Seriously.
yeah.
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 My family's in Vancouver
Oh.
right now.
Yeah.
You know how much I love Canadians, though. I mean,
Oh, we're a wonderful people.
and I really appreciated all the emotional support Canadians during the election.
They're
I know.
around.
Well, they look at us really with a lot of confusion about why we're in this situation we're in. So it's nice that they speak to us at all these days, being there.
We're here to help.
So.
We're a helpful people.
All right. Well, dive in here about our topic at hand here. I'm going to read just a little brief intro, if you will. So Sarah Rafferty is a lovely actor, perhaps best known for her role as Donna Paulson on the USA show Suits. But what you may not know is that in addition to acting, Sarah lends a hand to many causes near and dear to her heart. She is devoted to building awareness on gender barriers that affects girls and women worldwide. As an ambassador for Planned Canada's Because I'm a Girl campaign, she is an advocate for gender equality and promoting girls' and women's rights in the developing world. Additionally, Sarah has worked with the Alzheimer's Association in the U.S., several galas to benefit their support and research. And in Canada, Sarah is an ambassador for the newly founded organization, The Brain Project, which raises funds and awareness through providing works of art for Baycrest Health Services, a world leader in brain health and aging. Amazing.
Now I'm friends with you guys.
And we met when you came to our event, a while ago, years ago, when we could have events.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like a lifetime ago.
New York, and I so appreciate that you were giving us, shining a light on this, and it was always so moving to hear the stories of the families that you were supporting and to hear directly from them, but then at the same time to provide us with the outlet to just laugh our asses off. That was so important to hold both things at the same time.
Thank you.
I did that.
Yeah,
do that
at our events.
That's our trademarked gesture.
Yeah. I'm gonna promise not to. I'm gonna sit on my hands.
Exactly. You owe us money every time you do that.
I guess should we start with your connection? What made you decide? You wrote Chicken Soup for the Soul story. What brought you to talking about Alzheimer's disease?
Well, it's it's a disease that's touched my family very closely, and I talk a lot about my experience with my grandmother, which was my first experience with Alzheimer's, and that's what I wrote the piece about. And I just, you can speak to this so clearly in terms of just the statistics, that the awareness. I didn't realize, how many people were suffering from Alzheimer's, and that we, at that point didn't have a cure, didn't have any way to slow the disease. So what I really appreciate about what you're doing, along with supporting the families that are going through this, is also bringing the awareness that we can live a lifestyle, to support our brains, and it's not awful.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's not that hard, and a lot of it will make you feel better and feel good in a way, and you're doing something for your brain. It's something, we talk about all the time. Seth always says, he's like, you learn how to take care of your knee or your heart, but you don't really learn how to take care of your brain. But it's so important to do that.
And also the idea that I really appreciate how you guys mobilized a younger generation to know about it, because Alzheimer's does begin to affect us when we think we're not old.
Right.
Right.
we've learned that Alzheimer's starts in the brain 20 to even 30 years before you may see a symptom, which means that we should be taking care of our brains today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. It's it's something that I found like really has been empowering, I feel like. I feel like people think of Alzheimer's as sort of like a sad, dark disease, and this has shown me that there's so much hope in it. This month, of course, we're focusing on brain health and teaching people our 5 pillars of brain health are nutrition, sleep, exercise, emotional well-being, cognitive fitness. For you, like how did you kind of start on the journey of brain health? Like, is there something you started focusing on first? How did you kind of learn about it? What was your
I think I started with the one that I think is easiest, which is nutrition. Because there's like I can kind of crush that one. It's like all the things.
What do you mean by that? Are you meaning like you're so good at not eating sugar?
Yeah.
No, I don't mean that. I mean I'm good at eating good things. I don't mean I'm not eating sugar.
Yeah.
Like we talked about this when we spoke a while ago. Like we're good at like figuring out like, okay, so I can have chocolate, but maybe I have to try this sugar-free one made with stevia or erythritol or whatever, or I can make this avocado truffle.
Right.
So it's fun to make the stuff. I like to craft, so I feel like that can be an outlet. But there's definitely, so when I started that and understanding how exercise is good for your brain, and this is the work that the Brain Project was doing in Toronto, was getting the word out on that. I did start to realize there are so many places that I'm sucking, which is especially sleep, like sleep hygiene. We don't think about. I mean, I didn't think about.
Well, we do.
We do.
Of course you do. And you're getting the word out on that, but I need help in that department. So
and I think people like quality of sleep is very important. And what we've learned is like, for example, like Ambien and things like that are not good for your brain. And something our doctor loves to tell us is being unconscious and being asleep are 2 very different things. And you would never like see someone who was hit in the head with a baseball bat lying on the ground and think like, oh, they're getting good sleep right now. Like, and that's kind of medically what a lot of sleep aids do. And I think people think they're getting good sleep sometimes when they're actually not getting good sleep. And that's something that, I did not know at all, which is a real interesting revelation, I think. Yeah.
If I can sort of like make a little commercial break real quick to say that a donation to HFC this month will give you sleep tools on how to improve your sleep. So if you donate to us right now, you can go to wearehfc.org and you will get tools sent to you that will improve your sleep. Although we'll give a few maybe little teasers here, which is Seth doesn't want to give it for free.
I don't think we should, but I guess we will.
Well,
I'm joking.
I will say the first thing.
Don't give anything away for free.
I will say one of the first steps that I think that anyone can make, and I'm curious if you do this, in improving your sleep is tracking it. So Whoop, which is we're not wearing ours, is a band that you can wear that tracks your sleep and your exercise, and a number of great things, and gives you a lot of really feedback, and they are sponsoring this Instagram live, and are one of our partners. You can get a fancy HFC band for your Whoop. But one of the
name.
Yeah.
What's that?
Who doesn't want to wear a Whoop?
A Whoop.
Exactly. It's just fun.
And so once you really get a handle on like, oh gosh, I'm not getting any deep sleep, or I'm getting way too much REM sleep, which is what I was doing. Not enough deep, too much REM. And, then you can start making changes like the temperature of your bedroom. I wear an eye mask.
Yeah.
Blue light glasses before bed. Consistent bedtimes.
Not all sleep is the same. That's
Yeah.
what I didn't know that. I thought if I was asleep, I was asleep. Apparently, just because I'm asleep doesn't mean I'm really asleep.
Notice that since COVID, like I sleep so lightly now.
Really?
Yeah. And I wake
always looking at your phone?
What?
You think because you're like always looking for like news and information, or?
I think definitely too much time on the screen. I do have blue light glasses.
Yeah.
But something's happening where I'm waking up and like looking around my room, like, and seeing things. Like we just started fostering a dog, a very large dog. And I have recently, it's just whatever's going on in my life, I see that in my room. So I see like 10 of her. And one of the things that's great about having her is related to your other pillars, which is the well-being. She's bringing
Totally.
so much joy, and also she's making me go for more walks than I would normally go for, and longer ones. But this waking up, I mean, I've tried to get rid of there's tape on like everything in my bedroom. I'm looking around because I'm in my bedroom right now because it's the only room in my house that like I can hide in. But I have tape on like every light and stuff like that. But I think I need the Whoop. I need to.
Honestly, like tracking my sleep was so illuminating. And now, like I was like a gymnast growing up, so I love to get scores. I love to be told I'm like doing the right thing. And so like I wake up every morning and it's like, oh, congratulations, you did well, or it's like not so good. And honestly, one of the things that it's really shown me is how alcohol before bedtime truly affects your sleep. Without a doubt, I can have a single glass of wine and it changes my sleep. The quality.
You're a day drinker now.
Yeah, exactly.
So now I drink around 10
it is
a.m.
technically healthier to be a day drinker, which is yeah.
It would be, I guess.
I noticed that without having using the tracker yet.
Yeah.
I can't have a glass of wine.
Yeah, it's so interesting. Although a little bit of red wine may be good for your brain, although it's up in the air about how much. But it's, but not before bed, as long as it's not before.
So before, maybe at 2 p.m. we'll all have a thimble of red wine.
Maybe the brain healthy happy hour is a little bit earlier in the day. That's the thing.
That's what my mom thinks.
So when you get a bad sleep score,
mm-hmm.
What do you do to adjust for the?
You look at the patterns maybe that contributed to it. Like I found mine was like eating too late. Like as soon as I stopped like eating closer to bed, I slept much better. And like things like watching TV didn't affect my sleep that much. And looking at my phone honestly didn't affect my sleep that much. But I found like that, like food was the biggest factor in my quality of sleep. And other things might affect other people more, but for me, it was that,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a big meal, I would say any closer than 2 hours before bedtime will affect my sleep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I will sleep less deeply and have a lower quality sleep.
But then you just kind of look at patterns. That's what the sleep monitor helps more than anything. Is you can start to see like just little patterns, like
mm-hmm.
It's just figuring out your own patterns.
Yeah, and how when you do really keep a consistent bedtime and a consistent wake up time, how that will improve your quality because your body gets used to, this is when I'm supposed to sleep. I will sleep during this time. As an example, a lot of people will on Saturday night, they'll stay up really late when, every other night of the week they go to bed by 10 or 11, but Saturday night they're up till 1 or 2. And that literally gives your body jet lag. And you don't think about it because you haven't changed to a different place, but you've interrupted a pattern that will affect your sleep, which will thus affect your brain. So, it's these little things.
It's a huge bummer.
I mean,
not really. It's not that bad.
No.
In general, you feel better.
Yeah. Let's go back to actually what you were talking about, emotional well-being.
Yeah.
Like during this time, have you adopted any new activities or hobbies that are helping with that stuff? Like we do a lot of pottery. I've started making tiny little miniature things that I glue together. It's truly insane. I'll post something probably on my page sometime soon. But what do you do? What do you do to like calm down? Clear your mind?
So a lot of it for me has been about getting outside, but like and as deeply outside as we can, or I can. Sometimes it's just about like even at night going for a walk outside, taking in the stars, that kind of thing. But this summer, we were out of our routine. My kids didn't have online school in the summer and they didn't have camp. So we did a very socially distanced road trip and went to like, we went on 3 different ones, where we stayed in tents and cabins and got like into the Grand Tetons, like in the forest.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
And I found that that was helping me cope. And but it doesn't have to be grand like that. It's just like getting outside, walking down the driveway sometimes is enough, I think.
You always say it's what works for you. I mean, you have to move your body. So if you say like, well, sitting on the couch watching television works for me, like that's not. But it's, but if it's standing outside and taking 10 breaths, or having a social distance call with someone, or a Zoom, and then walking around while you're on that call instead of just sitting there. I think it really is about like what works for you and your lifestyle, because if you try to do something that's outside of your norm, you're not going to continue doing it.
Right, right. I definitely could use some help though in I like to do crafts with my kids, and we build like fairy houses and that kind of stuff is going on. So sometimes there's a lot of like glue gunning and
Uh-huh. Love it. Love it.
I have pottery to show.
I'm there for that.
But I had big, going into COVID, I had big plans. Like I was gonna start meditating.
Mm-hmm.
And
how did that go?
it I haven't meditated yet.
Yeah.
I have a lot of apps downloaded.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first step.
So do I.
So I've meditated with my daughter on her kids app, but I actually really need to. I think the barrier to it for me is years ago, like 14 years ago, before I had my first child, I went to like a transcendental meditation thing, got my mantra, did it. Then I got pregnant and was sick, and every time I closed my eyes, I thought I was gonna barf. So like, and then I never. And I feel like I have to be perfect. It's like, no, it's 20 minutes in the morning, right when you wake up. And then it's 20 minutes, in the late afternoon. And you do the full amount of time and this and that. And I think I just need to like really start small. So
Yeah.
what advice? Talk to me, friends.
Well, I have something I've struggled with, and I've stopped and started and stopped and started so many times over the years. And my amazing, wonderful therapist has always been like, if I'm always like, I feel distracted, I can't focus. She's like, but are you meditating? And I'm like, no. And she's like, well, and so, I think it's something that it really is exercise for your brain. And it's something the more you do, it gets easier, because when I do force myself to do it for consecutive days, it does get easier. But I think you have to start small. I did 10% Happier, which is a great app. And they have a great like introductory session. Headspace is a fantastic app. They are often partners of ours. I'm not sure. We may perhaps if you donate to us this month, we actually may, I don't want to speak out of turn. Often we have Headspace partnerships. I don't know if we do in this time, but there are a number of apps, and the truth is, it's kind of like writing. I always tell people, like, there was like, how do you write? And it's like, well, you have to put your fingers on the keyboard and push them down and type. And like, how do you meditate? You've got to sit there and close your eyes and breathe. And it's, and the thing about meditation is not blaming yourself. I don't know if you've ever like read any books or learned about it. But it's not saying, oh, I messed up. I didn't do it this morning. Shoot, I'm so terrible. I'm so lame. I suck. And then punishing yourself. The whole thing is, all right, we'll just start again. It's okay. Yeah. We'll start back at one. And there are so many guided meditations. I think that can help. I think the thought of like sitting there on your own and like taking deep breaths for 20 minutes, like, oh my God, I lose my mind. But when I listen to someone else who's telling me what to do, it seems easier.
It does. I think so.
Yeah. So.
And so you've guided the meditations, haven't you? In your event?
Guided a few.
Wait, it is. Sorry, Jojo, one of our staff said, yes, so if you donate this month, you'll get a 1-month premium membership to Headspace. So yes, so there you go.
1 month free Headspace for a week hair donation.
So everyone listening to this has no excuse. Give us a little money and you'll get a free month of Headspace, and you can start on your journey.
Your personal journey.
Your personal meditation journey.
Awesome.
All right. Well, I want to wrap things up a bit. Well, why don't we start with actually something that you touched on earlier, which is Thanksgiving is coming up. Nutrition wise, you said you like food, you like to cook. How do do you incorporate brain healthy recipes into your, do you cook brain healthy stuff? Do you have anything you enjoy?
Yeah, well, I think like anything, it's Thanksgiving is actually really good for a bunch of recipes in terms of like the cruciferous, antioxidant rich things. So a kale salad with nuts in it is a great way to go for that.
Yeah.
Or I have a great Brussels sprout recipe. I think Brussels sprouts
Al-
welcome.
Also good for your brain.
Brussels sprouts. Laura said Brussels sprouts are proof anything can become trendy. Nothing has dug itself out of the cultural hole that Brussels sprouts have.
It's true.
It's an inspirational rags to riches story.
I brought a visual aid.
Yeah.
Because this is fun, because nuts are good for our brains, right?
They are.
And I think there's a hierarchy of the nuts. Like
Yes. Yes. Totally.
But so my husband's Scandinavian. Well, he's Finnish. I want to make a joke, but I'm not going to.
When did he...
So there's this Danish bread that I love to make that's all made out of nuts and eggs.
Oh, whoa.
My friend's cookbook, but wait.
Oh, this.
Ooh, a nut egg bread.
A nut bread.
I mean, literally, you guys, it's only, hang on, I gotta, it's 5 eggs, olive oil, a little bit of salt, and then like sunflower seeds, hemp seeds, walnuts, hazelnuts, whole almonds, pumpkin seeds, I know which are on the list, flax seeds.
You should make
it, and then you put stuff on it. So
That's
good.
amazing.
This is amazing. We're totally going to share this recipe with everyone. Compliments of you and your friend's cookbook.
Yeah.
Lori David, yes.
Well, amazing.
Finnish nut bread.
It's Danish, so
David.
there's
Scandinavian nut bread.
Anybody from Denmark who can say, oh, it's like stenaldebrød.
Stenalberg.
Oh.
It's words, so you can't deny that.
The rest of our time together in Swedish chef speak.
This couch is a Stenalberg. Sorry.
Oh, man.
You making anything special for Thanksgiving?
Well, we haven't decided yet. I mean, it's hard. Normally we have like 45 people for Thanksgiving. And so because that's obviously not happening, it'll be us and Seth's parents and hopefully my dad. I have to rethink our whole menu, I think. So, but we just shared, or we're about to share these like a blueberry bread, muffin, whatever.
Something like that.
I don't know. Anyway, it sounded good, and I thought I was going to do that one. Blueberries are good for your brain. I mean, so many things, like you said, nuts and whatever. But this blueberry thing that either we're about to share or we just shared, I thought sounded kind of tasty. So
excellent.
Yeah, but we'll see. I love Thanksgiving, and I think that while it's important to eat brain healthy, it's also important to pick your moments where you can indulge. And Thanksgiving is one of those days where I'll definitely also have a little fun, have some pie and sugary cranberry sauce.
Yeah, and the sweet potatoes with the marshmallows on top from like.
I mean,
what an abomination!
As a Canadian, he really struggles with that one.
It's like a 4-year-old invented, but it's delicious.
What being Canadian have to do with hating on the marshmallows?
It's not a meal that exists in Canada. From my perspective, from my experience, me and every Canadian I know who has moved to America and seen that meal, it's like it's like a filet mignon with chocolate sauce poured all over it, like
gravy and cheese curds.
Right.
That all goes together. It's all savory. There's nothing weird at play there. It would be like French fries, cheese, and cotton candy.
Sounds good.
Yeah, but which I do not deny Americans would love.
Amazing. So what are you most grateful for this?
Yes. Well, thank you so much.
Well, thank you for joining us. Hopefully one day we can do something like this in person.
That would be lovely.
I would love it. Thank you so much for everything you guys are doing.
We'll share nut bread one day.
Yeah, we'll share
We'll break the nut bread.
Yes.
But I do want to say thank you so much for everything that you guys are doing. And I spent a lot of time on your website, and I just want to tell everybody who's tuned in right now just what an amazing like wealth of knowledge that you have curated for everybody there. And there's something for everybody, and just being able to tap on a podcast or view something or read a PDF or read an article. There's so much good stuff there. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, we're just trying to teach people that they can take care of their brains, and that, and that also we are caring for people who are going through the disease and want to help people. And, we're very happy to share this message. And, again, thank you, Sarah, and thank you to everyone who joined us today. We hope that you learned something about your brains, and, follow us at We Are HFC to learn more. If you donate to us this month, again, you will get a bunch of tools about brain health, and check in anytime. And Sarah, again, thank you. Happy Thanksgiving. We are so thankful for you and all you do for Alzheimer's, and sending wishes of love to you and your family. And that's it.
Have a great time. I hope to see you.
Bye.
David?